can you tell me your name at first?
My name is Miguel Nascimento,
Where are you from?
Portugal.
Portugal? Have you come to Japan for sightseeing or some
No,
other?
for competition, I'm swimmer.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
swimmer.
Yeah.
Yes. A world
Yeah.
swim competition.
Yeah. So I'm here for compete, and I'm today I don't swim, so I come here to feel this energy right here and trying to have some more strength
Yeah.
and power and luck
Yeah.
at the main competition.
When is your competition?
Friday.
What type?
53.
When did you arrive in Japan?
I arrived 2 weeks ago in Nagasaki. I did
really?
the training camp, and then I came here to compete. I stay there like 10 days in Nagasaki, and then came here on last Friday.
So is today free time for you?
In the morning. In the morning, I have a free time. I asked to my coach if I could be here. Yeah, he said yes.
Can you describe your impression of Japan?
I like a lot Japan because when I was younger, I saw a lot of manga and
What manga?
like Dragon Ball
Dragon
and
Ball.
Naruto.
Yeah.
And when I come here, look like I'm younger again. So I love like the culture because you are polite and helpful, and I like a lot the way you see life. And for me, it's like a pleasure to be here and to learn with you, and it's fun.
Do you have any Japanese experiences during your stay?
No, I would like to have it. I didn't have time yet,
I know.
but I would like to go. And even my coach would like to go. He said that in Japan as a traditional with tea, and I would like to try it because it looks like a very, very interesting.
Have you ever tried some Japanese food?
I love ramen.
You have tried?
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites. Of course, sushi is very famous. And I tried, I don't remember the name, but it was very nice. Champon.
Yeah.
Champon. Yeah.
Which prefecture did you visit? Only Nagasaki?
Here is the first thing that I know here, besides the competition pool,
Yeah.
is this temple. So I like a lot. It's very different from Nagasaki. It's bigger and more things to do, more things to eat. It's very, very beautiful and nice to live here.
What initial image did you have in mind before you came to Japan?
I've been here like 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not my first time, so
Really?
so I already know what is Japan, but I mean, the first time was like a pleasure, and I thought a thing about Japan and was better than I thought. So I like a lot Japan. Every time that I come here, I'm very happy.
Yeah, so I would like to ask you a few more questions. If you could bring something back to your hometown, what would you like to bring?
I mean, I there is a thing that I like it. That is a thing. It's called Mizu no Kokoro.
Water's mind? Water's mind?
Yeah. I like water. And make sense for me. Like when I'm trying to compete, I like to be like water, and
I see.
and that makes sense to me. And I would like to have like a, or no, I don't remember the name, like a paper to put in my wall in my home. So. Yeah.
Would you like to visit Japan again?
Yeah, for sure. I'd like a lot to go to Osaka, Kyoto, Tokyo, and Fukuoka again, without competing, only two vacations to visit.
Lastly, what message would you like to convey to people who are considering visiting Japan?
I mean, I embrace the culture, trying to have like the experience that the people that live here have. I think it's very, very good and very productive, even for us to bring that, trying to that experience to your countries, and I think is the best advice that I can give.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
Axel,
Where are you from?
France.
France. Why are you coming to Japan?
I have a working holiday visa, staying for 6 months.
When did you come to Japan?
In February.
In February.
Yes. This is my last month.
Last month.
Yeah.
Where did you visit? Any other prefectures?
Many prefectures.
Many prefectures.
Yeah. Went to Tochigi, Nikko, Shimoda, so that's Shizuoka, Yamanashi, Kyoto, Wakayama, Hyogo, Okayama, all 4 prefectures in Shikoku, Hiroshima, Matsue, Shimane, and I went to Yamaguchi, and now first time in Kyushu. And then I'm continuing south, Kagoshima, Okinawa, Yakushima, and all the islands south.
When did you arrive in Fukuoka?
Today, right
Today,
now.
right now.
I just arrived right now.
So you're a little bit tired?
It's okay.
It's okay. Where are you from today?
Yamaguchi.
Yamaguchi.
Yes.
So by Shinkansen?
No, local train and bus. Yeah.
So huge bag.
Yeah, that's all my stuff for 6 months.
You got working holiday visa, right?
Yes.
So what did you do for working?
I did 1 month of farming in Shizuoka.
In Shizuoka.
Yeah. 2 weeks of beekeeping. I did 1 month in Kyoto in a guest house. Yeah.
How was that?
Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Good way to meet new people. But more foreigners than Japanese, I guess.
Can you describe your impression of Japan?
It's not my first time in Japan.
Really?
So I wasn't surprised too much.
Oh, I see.
I already I like Japan.
When did you come to Japan?
The first time.
First time.
I was 8 years old.
Really?
Yes. But I stayed only 3 days. It was like sort of a business trip with my father for 3 days, and we stayed in Tokyo.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. So I had good memories of it, and then since then I want to come back every time.
Really?
So I came like twice with my family for 2 weeks, and I went to Osaka multiple times for like short periods of times, 2 or 3 days in Osaka.
Yeah.
Now my family is coming to visit me in Kyushu.
Oh.
So for 2 weeks, and so I'm gonna meet them today. Yeah,
Really?
arriving today, yeah,
I
from
see.
Seoul.
Did you have any Japanese-like experiences during this your stay? Kind of like tea ceremony or
Matsuri, my first Matsuri. Yeah,
really?
In Yamaguchi, a small city, Nagato. My first Matsuri, I liked it. Very long hanabi.
So how was the Matsuri?
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very local Matsuri.
Yeah.
I was told.
Have you tried to eat something food
Over there,
in Matsuri?
Yeah, it's kakigori.
Kakigori.
Yeah, matcha kakigori.
Matcha kakigori.
Yes.
How was
And
that?
also that was my first time I ate
Yeah?
kakigori. Yeah, and I liked it. Yeah, and also ate beer. I drank
Beer.
beer.
Yeah.
And some fish and some German sausage.
I would like you to remember that before you came to Japan at first,
Yes.
what prompted you to decide to visit Japan?
I didn't, because I was too young. Like I was
Too young,
8 years old, so I didn't have any. I don't remember how I felt about.
How
going
about
to Japan.
second time?
Because I had good memories when I first was in Japan. Like when in Tokyo, I remember like my father brought me to big toy shops for children,
Yeah.
very narrow, and like a lot of levels. Like 4 or 5 stories high. So I was like, oh, it's impressive.
Yeah.
As like a young boy at the time in like such a
I
big
know.
city. And then I went back with my family. And we went to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Gifu. Yeah, and I liked it a lot. Yeah, I went to Gero Onsen.
Oh, really?
You know?
I know.
I loved it a lot. I prefer the inaka.
Yeah.
Japanese inaka is what
Beautiful.
I prefer. Yeah, I was in real inaka in Yamaguchi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Tawarayama Onsen. Very small, but it's really nice. Yeah, very nice people.
I imagine the people who live in Inaka, they can't speak English. So how did you communicate with them?
I speak a bit of Japanese,
Oh, really?
so that helps. It's like I like to call it like survival Japanese. It's not good enough to have like a deep conversation.
Yeah.
But I can like get understood and yeah, it helps. And also because at the guest house I was at, a girl spoke English
Oh,
good,
really?
so I could connect with her, and then we met other people, and so with a multiple group, like yesterday night we were like 5-6 people, and everybody speaks a little bit of English
That's nice.
and a bit of Japanese, so we get to understand each other. Yeah.
What initial image did you have in mind about Japanese?
I'd say organization and politeness and shyness.
Shyness,
Also,
yeah.
yes.
Do you have any differences between you thought and now?
No, not really, because I kept going back to Japan quite regularly. So since then I already know what to expect.
Yeah. So I have a few more questions. If you could bring something back to your hometown from Japan, what would you bring back?
I would say respect, like the fact of thinking about others, you know, minding others. Like, oh, what I'm doing now, is it disturbing other people? You know, that type of thing is very common for Japanese people in the education. And in France, it's lacking. It's lacking, yeah. For me, that's the most important thing that I want to bring back to my country.
Would you like to visit Japan again?
I don't know, honestly, because I visited and I will visit a lot of Japan during this 6 months.
Yeah.
So there's not much more that I would like to visit currently. Maybe in 2-3 years I would be, I want to go back. You know? But
Now
the only thing I will not have time to visit is Kanazawa. I wanted to visit Kanazawa and Japanese Alps.
Yeah.
But since I live in the French Alps, it's not so bad. But if I might come back and stay more longer in the countryside. Yeah, I love the countryside.
Have you ever been to more northern part of Japan?
I've been to Hokkaido.
Oh, Hokkaido.
Yes. Yeah, Hokkaido for like 10 days.
10
I
days.
liked it a lot, yeah. Maybe I want to go back to ski.
Yeah.
Skiing in winter and then enjoy the onsen.
And lastly, what message would you like to convey to people who considering visiting Japan?
I'd say I would really recommend visiting Japan to everybody because it's a very developed country, but that is very different from the Western countries. So for European people or American, Canadian, or even Australian, that kind of countries, they will be quite amazed about the cultural difference and shock when you arrive to Japan. And also observe how Japanese people behave and try to mimic them. Not to be like, bring your own behavior in Japan. Try to observe how they act and try to be like them, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Can you tell me your name at first?
Maren.
Maren. Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
Which city?
Cologne.
Cologne. Did you arrive in Japan?
I arrived yesterday. I
Yesterday.
came via ferry from Busan.
Before you came in Japan from Korea.
Yeah, correct. I traveled for 2.5 weeks there, and now I have 3.5 weeks more in Japan.
Where are you going to Japan?
Later on today, I'm going to go to Nagasaki, and then I'll basically make my way slowly to Tokyo.
You have come to Japan about the sightseeing, right?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Why do you choose Japan for sightseeing?
I visited Korea last year already as well, and I really liked it, and I heard Japan is similar but very different as well. And as I said, I have some time off right now, and I have time to travel, and so I thought it's really interesting. And Japanese culture is very famous as well around the world. So
What type of
like
culture?
manga,
Manga,
and the whole culture, I think. And then it's supposed to be very different as well because it was isolated so long, and the way people behave as well. So I was just interested in seeing it for once, but I don't know very much yet. So
No yet.
food is famous as well. Ramen.
Have you ever tried before? Come to Japan?
I've
Sushi
been
or
to
ramen?
I've been to Japanese restaurants in Germany, but I'm not sure how authentic they were. But we have quite some near where I live. There are quite a lot of Japanese people as well, and they have restaurants.
Can you describe your impression of Japan so far?
Oh, there isn't that much. I just went to Hakata Station,
Yeah.
and it was like a labyrinth. I was like, there were a lot of people, and it was very confusing. But apart from that, I find it very hot and humid, obviously. But I also heard that it's like this normally in summer. Big city, I think here, but I can't say more yet. Very modern everything.
Do you have any plan to have some Japanese-like experiences?
I booked tea ceremony and also food tour already because I'm not sure how much I will be able to do on my own. Ordering and things like that. I don't speak any Japanese, so that's a pity. But yeah, I plan to.
What are you going to plan for?
Well, I just booked online a food tour, I think, in Osaka, and a tea ceremony, I think, in
Included?
Yeah, it's just a package you can book online. Yeah.
And
planning to do that.
some plan to go any other shrine or temple or something?
Yeah, sure. I want to see, like, if I'm in Kyoto or Tokyo, I want to see the sights, of course. Yeah, I'll go there.
Which prefecture are you going to visit?
Places I've booked so far are Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Osaka, Kyoto, Kanazawa. One of those traditional places to stay there at night as well, like sleeping on the floor, we would say.
And also, I would like to ask a few more questions. It's difficult question for you because you have only 2 days in Japan.
Okay.
If you could bring something back to your hometown from Japan, what would you bring back to Japan?
I was thinking about flower arrangements and also some calligraphy.
Yeah.
And I thought about maybe buying one of those ink things. We don't have that in Germany with the stone where you produce the ink, something like that. Because I like calligraphy. I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll see.
Yeah, again, it's hard to answer. Would you like to visit Japan again?
If I don't hate it, I'll feel like that. I will only see the southern part this time because I basically only get to Tokyo, but there is a northern part as well, and I heard particularly Hokkaido is very nice for hiking, and I like hiking, but it's not enough time for me this year to do it. So if I don't completely hate my experience here, I think I will come back and do the northern part as well. Yeah.
Lastly, do you have any message? What message would you like to convey to people who considering visiting Japan?
Maybe learn the language a little bit beforehand. I had the same a similar experience in Korea, particularly if you leave like the more touristy places and they don't speak English, you don't speak the language there. It's hard, and it's also like frustrating because you want to talk. I want to talk to people, but I can't really. Only with translating apps, and it's a little frustrating because it's nicer to be able to communicate. And I will have the same problem here. I don't have the time to learn the language that quickly. So, yeah, I think it would be nice to know a little, at least, of the language. But I didn't have the time to prepare better. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.